Hi everybody, it's Terry, and I changed out my idle air control valve yesterday on my 1999 F250 5.4 liter. First thing I did was I went online and saw how easy it was to do, and so I jumped into it, and man, it didn't turn out to be that easy for me. This is the old one. This is the idle air control valve that came from back in there. That shiny silver thing there is the new one. You can see that it's not right out there where you can get to it. First thing I did was I got rid of the transmission fluid dipstick, and then just to give myself a little bit more room. Stuffed a rag down in there so that debris wouldn't get in. And of course this piece of plastic right here is just the throttle body hood. So it gives you a little bit more room to get back in there. What you have to do to get to it is you have to reach your right hand back around the throttle body all the way back around to that idle air control valve. And you have to reach your left hand around here through all of that to get to the idle air control valve. The way I knew that I needed an idle air control valve is it's the valve that keeps your engine running smoothly when you're at a stop sign or a stoplight, or even slowing down in traffic. My engine would die on me sometimes, not in the best places sometimes too. Also, there's a big loud humming sound or whistling sound that turns people's heads on the sidewalk. They see you coming, and it's not a cool sound to have on your truck. But this is the old one. I went into it with the intentions of cleaning it up with some carb cleaner. Some suggestions were that you just fill it up with carb cleaner and clean it out. But I had so much trouble getting it out, I just decided, man, I don't want to ever do this job again. So I went and bought a new one. And here are the tools that I used. Was the 1/4 inch ratchet with 8mm socket. And I needed a 8mm wrench with the 12 points on it. If you use the 6-point 8mm, there's no way to get on that bolt head, and you don't have much throw back in there, 1 or 2 degrees, and I couldn't get the points to line up on the bolt head with the wrench. So I got the 12-point wrench, and you have a little bit more play to get on there, get on that bolt head, and all you're doing is just breaking it loose. It's not like you can get a whole bunch of turns on that dude to get it out of there. The same thing with the ratchet. And you need the ratchet and the socket on the left side. Because there's no way to get your wrench on that bolt head. There's no way to get the wrench on that bolt head from your left side because of this valve here. And you can't come from the top because there's not enough room. So you really need the 1/8 inch socket. I mean the 8mm socket. And you can get on there and you can operate it for a few degrees. But you can't use this from the right side on the bottom one just because you can't. You have to go in with your 8mm 12-point to get on that head, and all you're doing is just breaking it loose. You're just going to have to get it to click once or twice. You have to reset that until it's finger tight, but you don't get the option of pulling it all the way out with your wrench. What I had to do, and I'll just do it on the top one, is I had to use my 2 middle fingers to go in behind. You're not seeing anything that's going on. This is all by feel. In the back there is you have to get on that bolt head, and you have to turn it with those 2 fingers to get it to back out. There's no way to get two fingers on there to do it like you ordinarily would unscrew something with either hand, top or bottom. You have to use two fingers to manipulate that guy back. Then you pull it out that extra inch or whatever, then you have a little bit of play with this so that you can get your screwdriver in there and pop that wiring harness out, which is the easiest thing you do. What also comes on here is a gasket. When you're putting the new one back in, you put the gasket on there and slip the bolt in. Kind of keeps them married, and you manipulate it all back in there from the left side and get that top bolt in the top hole a little bit and get it finger tightened a little bit with your middle fingers again, or I guess however you can get it started. Then come in with the bottom screw from the right side and get it in there, and you can kind of move the gasket around there so the holes line up. You can feel it on this line and this line here, so that, and you get that in there in the bottom hole. Then you have to get it started with those middle fingers again and get it as far as you can before you can get your wrench in there and back on there. And when you're torquing that guy down, you're just giving it all you can. Is with this end, you're just barely moving that wrench and getting another bite. If you have access to the ratcheting wrench, you're going to be much happier. But I didn't spend the money on it. It's a one-time tool for me. I did fine with this one. It just takes longer. The whole job, start to finish, was about 3 hours. That was with 2 trips to Sears to get new tools. But that's the idle air control valve. And good luck.